What's going on, guys? Alex here and welcome to Monster Motors. So today we're going to start doing some bits to the S15. So I'm still waiting for the courier to arrive with one of the bits that I need for the steering wheel. So in the meantime, I don't know how well you can see, but you can sort of see that the left headlight's sort of cloudy compared to the right one. So what I did was I've popped down to Halfords and I've bought this Maguire's one-step headlight restoration kit. And yeah, so I'm going to try and get that looking nice and shiny again, and probably do it to the other one as well, just so that they're both looking sort of fairly similar. So first things first, need to mask up all around there, so let's do that. Right, so it's all masked off now. So what the instructions say is attach this bit that they supply to your drill. So I've got my drill, then this plastics thing, just apply a little drop onto the pad, then start off slowly, just sort of put it all onto the headlight, and then go to full speed and sort of just buff it off up and down, and then before the product dries on the headlight, oh, that won't come off. Before it dries on the headlight, buff it off with a microfiber, and that should be pretty much it. I think it said repeat as many times as needed, but if it is stubborn, there is another sort of stubborn removal kit that comes with it. So hopefully it's quite straightforward and shouldn't take too long. Alright, so just put that sort of little dollop on there, or just make yourself look like an idiot because you didn't realise that it was actually sealed. So we'll just put that down here for now. Oh, lovely. Wind's picking up, exactly what I wanted, because it's not like it's really cold as it is. So let's try that again. Put a little dollop on there, and put it on slow speed. And literally just sort of move it around. And then up to speed. I sort of just do this from what I can work out. The trick is to always keep the pad moving, like never sort of stay in the same spot. And just keep working away at it. With a microfiber. That's a little bit better. So I'm going to have to go over it a couple of times, but it's not a massive difference, but it is a little bit better. So I'm just going to keep doing this a couple of times and then hopefully come back once we have a good result. Alright, so after about half an hour of doing it, it has come out better, but it's still not quite 100% there. It doesn't really quite pick up the difference on the camera of what it was beforehand to what it is now. But it's better than what it was, so I'm quite happy with it. But I'm going to leave it for now, and then probably when I get the whole car machine polished, I'm going to let a professional do it, because they obviously have their own techniques of doing it quicker and better and all that. So now we just wait for the delivery guy to turn up, and then we can get started on sorting out the new steering wheel. Right, so while I wait for the DPD guy to arrive with the boss kit that I need, I thought I'd show you my steering wheel. So it's an NRG steering wheel. It's painted gloss black with the neochrome spokes and centre bit and horn and whatnot. and it's fitted with the NRG quick release. I can't remember the codes for it, but it's the V3 of whatever it is. So yeah, that's the steering wheel that's going to be going into the car. So I'm going to head out, disconnect the battery while I wait for the delivery arrive, which shouldn't be too long now. So at least that way it's ready to then start taking apart the steering wheel, and then I can start fitting these new bits on. Right, so the battery's disconnected. First things first is we have to pop off these two sort of little plastic covers. I hope it's literally just as easy as just doing that without sending it flying. Alright, so that's one done, and come on, and two, and now it reveals, yeah, so these, okay, right, so these little Torx screws, I think they're safety ones or something. If it decides to focus, that would be, there we go. So there's one either side. These two have to come undone and then unclip these, and yeah, so undo them. That should take the airbag off. Unclip these, and then I think there's just one sort of big nut in the middle. Undo that, punch the steering wheel a couple of times, and then it should hopefully pop out. So let's try and find the correct part for undoing those nuts. And yeah, so luckily the tool set that I bought today specifically because I wanted some extra bits has actually got these correct safety ones. So, oh, that's tight. Probably a two-hand job. Oh, fucking hell. That really doesn't want to come off. Is the other one equally as tight, or? Right, so I've enlisted the help of this little tool. I always forget the name for it. I can never remember if it's a wrench or whatever, but this, I'm sort of able to slowly unscrew this. I think it must be in with some Loctite or something along those lines. It's really in there, but it's slowly coming out, which is the main thing. Thought I was going to have to bust out the drill, but luckily this seems to be working. So there's this one. Ah, there we go. Alright. Is that? No, that's not even finger loose yet. Jesus. Right. Ah, look, yeah, it's got some like blue Loctite stuff on it, so that's probably why. Now, try and get this one off. Oh, Jesus. There we go. It's just that initial crack, and then sort of loosen it bit by bit. Right, I'll probably stop filming and catch up again once that's off. Right, so after a lot of swearing and all sorts because one of the bolts rounded, I had to smash a socket onto the end of it because they're held in with that Loctite stuff. So this one rounded off, so I smashed a socket over it and managed to get it off. So now all that's left is to undo this 19mm bolt and basically just unscrew it until it's off, then wind it back on and then hit the steering wheel all over a little bit, and we should be good to go with that bit. So let's just crack on with that. Hopefully this one's easier, but it looks like it's a two-handed job. Oh, right. I spoke too soon, didn't I, where I said it was easier. Oh, come on. Oh. It's on there nice and tight, that's for sure. Quick switch of tools to a different 19mm socket. So this one's, rather than having lots of slots, it's the correct one. Alright, finally managed to get that loose. So yeah, that's on there. So from there we go. Now take this off the rest of the way. And oh, if I remember to unplug that last thing, that would help. So let me just unplug it, and that's it. That is the standard steering wheel off, and this is ready to go. Right, so fast forward a little bit. I've been talking to my mate Jay, a massive shout out for him for helping me out with all this, because obviously I've got a million questions and he's just helping me out. So thanks for that. So what I've done is, with the kit, you get a resistor for your airbag, because obviously you won't have an airbag anymore. And so you connect that to the airbag cable and tucked that in here. And this is now my horn for the wire, so I've just fed that through. Now what we're going to do is stick this 19mm back on and do that up nice and tightly, and then we're going to mount the quick release to this, and then that should be pretty much there, I think. So let's just fast forward to that. Right, so now that the boss itself is on, the quick release attachment now bolts onto this. So behind I have plugged in the horn to the cable that's now sort of hiding in here, and I've tucked away my airbag cable with the resistor somewhere in here, just so that it's out the way. So just finish tightening all of these up, and then I think we're pretty much there with the quick release fitting sort of complete. So just make sure everything's all nice and tight, because the last thing you want is to it coming off. I always like to do sort of opposite ends, so I never like to tighten sort of like in a circle type thing. I always like to do sort of this side, then this side, then there and there, there and there, just so it sort of like evenly sort of goes down, just so that way it sort of avoids any issues. Like it's the same as when doing up the nuts on wheels or something. I always do diagonal patterns like this, just because that way then I know, well, it in my head is sort of put on nice and evenly all over. So all that's left is to try on the steering wheel, and then I think we're pretty much there. Just plug the battery back in, make sure everything's working, and I think we're pretty much good to go. Right, so that's all now bolted on. This can now sort of go in place and clicks in, and job done. There we go. So quick release steering wheel done. Everything's fine. I just need to sort out why the horn's not working, but other than that, that's pretty much it. So that's sort of the first mod done to the car, and yeah, it was a little bit of a nightmare, but well, that's what you get for working on your own car. So I'm really happy with how that looks. It's just something I've always wanted to do, and I'm so glad that I've got the chance to now. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.